Great showing from Josh Barnett, huge showing. But folks, there's more heavyweight action, highlighted by Big Ben Rothwell challenging the one and only Andrei Arlovski. Arlovski weighs in at 241 pounds, but it's the size of the big man that could be the wild card here. 6'5", 264 pounds of an angry Ben Rothwell. Folks, what a night of action we have so far, and the heavyweights are just beginning. Twinkle Toes, Big John McCarthy, you think that Big Ben could be the upset of the night, Frankie?
Yeah, everyone's going to be picking on me tomorrow if I'm wrong, but I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to go out publicly and say it, I think that Ben Rothwell is severely underrated. I think people aren't giving him his just due. He has a 13-fight win streak. Coming into this fight, he's got a powerful right hand that scares everybody unconscious, and he is training every day at all three aspects of MMA. The stand-up, the takedown, and the ground. This is a guy that's determined to make sure that everything happens as quickly as fast for him as he can. He wants to prove, and not only am I belonging here, but I'm a top 5 heavyweight, and you better recognize right now.
Well, big boy, Andrei Arlovski, you've seen him go up and down, obviously up to claim the UFC heavyweight championship of the world, and then down, but he says that there are some overriding factors in that.
Well, Andrei Arlovski is a supreme athlete, and the thing about Andrei Arlovski is, while he was kind of waiting out his time with the UFC because they weren't giving him fights, he was taking fights as they were coming, saying, I'll take it, starting to train for it, they'd pull it away from him. But in that time, he's worked at becoming a more complete mixed martial artist. He's worked on his wrestling. He's been training his stand-up with Freddie Roach. His jiu-jitsu is now more complete. He actually goes with more jiu-jitsu than Sambo now. And Andrei Arlovski is a much better fighter today than he was when he held the UFC heavyweight championship.
Right, he said, there are no questions. I understand people got upset with my style. There were other factors. No, I'm the Andrei Arlovski that you grew to know and love. Well, one guy who doesn't love him, he's coming up next. He is the big man, Big Ben Rothwell.
A rising star, a brash banger, and one bad man. He's looking to make it 14 straight. It's Big Ben Rothwell.
My strongest point has to be my mind. And when that's in order, when everything, I have that in the place it needs to be, I'm not going to get beat. If I don't fight and take competition and use the gifts that God has given me, I'll be a very miserable person living with a lot of regret. There's no doubt there's a switch, because you see me after a fight or just on the street, I'm trying to be polite and a nice guy and talk to you and give you your time. If you're unfortunately the guy that's in the ring with me, that man doesn't exist.
We got to give the fans what they came to see, and Andre, I'm going to take this out of your ass.
Oh, the man who's sitting on the other side of the gauntlet, that's Andrei Arlovski, MMA legend. He is joining us now here on Affliction.
With heavy hands and a steely determination, he's rediscovered the focus that made him a champion. It's the pitbull, Andrei Arlovski.
I'm expecting everything. I'm mentally I will be ready for the fight. I will be ready to give him a lot of pain. I will be ready to take something. So the minute when I step in the ring, I'm ready. I'm going to crush my last one on July 19th, and it will be a great fight for the fans. In my opinion, you have to be mentally ready for the fight, 100% not ready. He will step in the ring to beat me, and definitely I will going to beat him. Ben, I want to tell you, just stay healthy, train even harder than you did before, and it will be a very tough fight for July 19th.
All right, let's send it now into the ring to Michael Buffer.
And the action continues here at Affliction Band, ladies and gentlemen. Inside the ring, your referee in charge of this bout is Josh Rosenthal. And now the heavyweight attraction we've all been waiting for, 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Fighting out of the red corner, standing 6'5", official weight 264 pounds. His MMA record, 29 victories, including 17 knockouts, 10 submissions against 5 defeats. From Kenosha, Wisconsin, Big Ben Rothwell. Fighting Officially weighing 241 pounds. His record, 12 victories, 8 by KO, 3 by submission, 5 defeats, from Minsk, Belarus, Andre, the Pitbull Arlovski.
You know, Jay, well,
look at this stare down by Big Ben Rothwell. Looking at him, you talked about Ben cooking in his jeans where he looks like he'd like to cook up a little dead meat across the way.
What Big Mike and I, or Big John and I were talking about before about Ben Rothwell is the fact he looks so much better now than he has in the past. It's turned a lot of that fat and blubber he used to have into great strength.
Look at those hands are shaking, but he's like a caged animal. He cannot wait to get out there. And perhaps the most interesting thing, the aspect of this fight, is that when his teammate, Tim Sylvia, fought Andre Arlovski, Ben Rothwell played Andre Arlovski in sparring.
He did, and one of the things that Ben Rothwell did, he brought in Pat Barry to be his sparring partner to get a very athletic guy that is going to be throwing punches and kicks at him. He brought in Pat Barry, who's an explosive kickboxer, to be his sparring partner.
Well, explain exactly who Pat Barry is. It's not just some kickboxer off the street.
No, Pat Barry's actually coming out of Duke Rufus's camp, and he is a guy who fighting in K1 and has started his MMA career, and he has knocked out both guys in about a total of 15 seconds.
Kickboxing-wise, he's about as good as they get right now.
He can swat.
Big Ben with the decided weight advantage.
He's getting an extra 25 pounds or so.
It'll be interesting to see as Ben uses that clinch. Now he can use elbows, which is something he hasn't been doing since he's been fighting most of his fights in the IFL.
Oh, nice shot there.
Nice right
Counter right there by Andre. And Big Ben, this is what he does. He always presses the action. Nice tie clinch behind the head. Got to do something with it, though.
Andre doing a good job. See, he backed him in and kept his back against the ropes. You can't get in a tight clinch. You have to get your hips back to be able to knee. If you push him into the ropes, his hips can't come back, slam him into the corner. Now, even if he keeps the tight clinch, he's not going to be able to knee him at all because his hips can't go anywhere.
He doesn't have a whole lot with that tight clinch, you're right, because he's also got his head up into his chest. Where's he going to start to move him to?
But you know what else I like to see here, guys? Again, the criticism was that Andre kept backing up and stalling. He's certainly not doing this. This looks like the Andre Arlovski of old.
Well, Andre said that, you know what, he is a new fighter. He's got new energy as far as his entire fight game, and he can't wait to come out here and take apart Ben Rothwell.
Same thing Ben Rothwell said about Andre.
Absolutely.
Hey, you made an interesting point before also that Andre decided to change things up a little bit and started learning boxing. Worked for about 3 weeks with famed boxing coach Freddie Roach. And he told us yesterday, you know, as an MMA athlete, you have to always look to evolve your game and add new things.
You do. The one thing that's going to be a thing to look at is Ben Rothwell has been fighting in a ring for a long time. With the IFL, he had a lot of fights.
Nice takedown by Arlovski.
Good outside trip. Andre Arlovski has never fought in a ring. He's fought all of his fights in a cage, so we'll see if that ends up working against him.
Wow.
Big Ben. Andre going for that heel hook.
Inverted heel hook. He's got the position for it. We'll see if he does go for a straight ankle lock.
Oh, almost had it locked on. Good job rolling out by the Big Ben, Ben Rothwell.
And all that started out from Ben Rothwell trying to get a sweep.
Nice low kick, too.
Trying to change positions. All of a sudden switches over. Hey, I'm getting out of this position. Now I'm cutting another submission. Great job by Andre recognizing where he was going. And Ben Rothwell jumped out of there quickly.
Even though Rothwell has 34 fights, you can see the difference in experience here when he goes against somebody so crafty like Arlovski.
Not only crafty, incredibly powerful and quick. Arlovski is so strong when he grabs a hold of something. 241-pound man, and he's very quick at when he tries to start to apply them.
And he is phenomenal on the ground with his sambo. You pretty much have here the brawler versus the technician.
Yeah, at least on a stand-up game. You know, then on the ground, it's a little bit more survival versus the technician.
Ben Rothwell is a guy, you know, you got to hit him with a 2x4 to start to make him even blink. And so Andre Arlovski is going to have to really work his stand-up to hurt Ben Rothwell.
Ben right now riding a 13-fight win streak. That's a nice jab coming in, but
nice shot.
Ben trying to cover up now. Arlovski going in for the kill.
Arlovski's opening up. He needs to be careful with his hands. Bring his hands back on the same rail that he's bringing them out on.
He's right. You're right, John. He does keep dropping his hands. I didn't notice that before. And with a guy like Rothwell, who's got that one-punch power knockout, better be careful. Keep those hands up.
That's how Arlovski lost his UFC heavyweight title, is he hurt Tim Sylvia bad and then went after him, had his hands real wide and low as he's swinging, and Tim caught him with a beautiful shot that put him down and ended the fight.
But suddenly Ben is not stalking Arlovski. Now it's the other way around.
Well, that's what happens when you get hit with some good, powerful shots.
Nice two again by Arlovski, overhand right. Oh, and a nice low kick following that up. Oh, huge leather there.
Ben Rothwell coming back with a big right hand.
He drops a leather right to the temple of Arlovski.
A very good round, a very competitive round.
Now the question is, which one do you think is going to have the better cardio coming in, or coming through the second round?
It's a question we'll have to get answered in the second round.
Here you have that outside trip by Andre Arlovski. He had an underhook and an overhook. Ben Rothwell was actually trying to take him down. It worked against him in that position, but Ben did a great job of opening up, going after him. Andre had the position, looked for a leg lock, ended up going for a straight ankle lock. It didn't work. Ben Rothwell did a beautiful job of getting himself out, turning and pulling himself out.
Coming in nice and tight, throws a straight right, and Arlovski immediately ducks it, comes right back in, 2 rights in a row, a couple of laps, and then now starting to chase Rothwell back. He saw the position and was hunting him down.
Ben Rothwell coming back with a big right hand just before the end of the round to say, you know what, brother, I'm still here.
He puts his body into that instead of his hips, and that's an awful lot of body to put into it. Start of round 2. Big Ben Rothwell with your longer black shorts on the right. Andre Arlovski to your left with the Frank Trigg tidy blackies.
Mine are tight and pink.
You talked about cardio, Frank, and the one thing, both of these guys, Rothwell may not have the physique that Andre Arlovski does, but the guy is a cardio machine. He can go, and I don't think he's going to slow down due to his cardio in this fight.
Another nice overhand right by Andre Arlovski. You know what, guys? I am excited to see that Andre, you know, he said to us that all that business stuff got in his mind. He used to fight not to lose. Well, now he's fighting to win, and he's bringing the leather to the face of Big Ben again.
Nice left-right. Left combination is a beautiful job. Beautiful left hand.
Nice. Now he has Big Ben in trouble. Tick tock. He is knocking on the door. Arlovski raining in punches. Rothwell just trying to cover up.
Arlovski should look to lower it down and go to the body when Rothwell's got his hands so high.
And Rothwell bloodied up now. Arlovski takes him down, goes right to the mouth. Great position here for Arlovski.
Beautiful job of moving his hips by Ben Rothwell to get him out of mount and get it back to a half guard. Now he's got him in a full guard.
You have to think also, guys, Ben Rothwell, nobody's really pressed him like this. He hasn't had to deal with something like this for a long, long time. He is not used to being the guy who's not the aggressor.
No, Ben Rothwell is a guy that usually is the guy that's going and he's pressing the fight. He's trying to press the fight against Andre right now. It's just that Andre is landing better shots that are starting to affect Ben, and he's starting to back off, and Andre's going after him. You got to give Andre credit. He's doing a great job of bringing the pressure.
Now, Ben has fought some big names. He fought Tim Sylvia, actually, a long, long time ago. Lost a 3-round decision many, many moons ago. But again, that was a while ago, and he hasn't fought somebody with this caliber, the caliber of an Andre Arlovski at this point in his career.
Well, yeah, Ben Rothwell has more fights than Andre Arlovski, but if you look at the level of competition, Andre Arlovski has been in there with Tim Sylvia 3 times, not just once. You know, Jake O'Brien, Fabricio Verdum, he knocked out Paul Buentello in 15 seconds. He's been in there against some of the very best.
Good ground and pound here by Andre Arlovski. Keeps it moving. Oh, and he goes for the heel hook again. No, he slips right out there.
That was a real mistake by Andre, and it was a real mistake to sit on his back and act like he's a jiu-jitsu fighter, when that is not who he is. He should have gotten himself right back up. Now Ben's in a dominant position in this fight for him.
Frankie, Ben couldn't be in a better position right now. Great point, Big John.
Because also pay attention to the time that's left. There's 2:15 left in the round. There's a lot of time left to steal the round. We all agree that Rothwell is losing the round at this point. He now has a shot to win it back.
Oh, nice elbow there by Big Ben. All that blood you see is coming out of the nose of Ben Rothwell. Another nice elbow. Now obviously he sees the blood, his and hopefully Andre's as well.
Well, I think that's what he wants to do. He sees his and he wants to make it an even battle and say, no, I want some of yours.
You might also look at his and say, uh-oh, I don't want this thing stopped. I better stop it my own right.
Well, Ben has had his nose bleed many times in fights. I don't think he's concerned with this at all.
He's coming. He's not trying to sneak these in. He's trying to blast them right through the forearms. He doesn't care if Andre blocks him or not. He's going to bang his head off the canvas.
He's certainly telegraphing him and thinking, I got enough power to just plow right through your defense.
Andre right now should not sit here like he is. He needs to, even though his guard's open, he's got him hooked over the legs, which is not much more than having a closed guard. He needs to start to move his hips and get himself out.
He's caught against the corner. You know, this is...
John, is it hard to scoot your hips out, though, when you're right there against the ropes?
It's hard to scoot your hips out when you're against the ropes, and it's hard to scoot your hips out when you got a 270-pound man on top of you.
I'm not 270. Super turn. Now they're back in it again, off the ropes. Smart position change.
Good job of ground and pound by both fighters tonight.
You know, like you said earlier, John, you know, Andre's legs are now closed in a closed guard. Before behind the knees, it was just like having a closed guard. He's not really looking to move anything. It's almost like he's just digging inside with his arms and trying to overhook the arms, as opposed to trying to get out of this position of any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely, and you look at it, Ben Rothwell is doing a good job of, he was posturing up and he's hitting him with power shots. These are not just arm punches.
I think Arlovski just got his goal accomplished. He was looking to use that guard just to hold on to get it stood back right up. And Arlovski comes right back and rocks Ben Rothwell. He was kicked to the head of Rothwell. And Arlovski is going for the kill with 10 seconds left. Can he put him out?
Oh,
he connects. Oh, blood is flying everywhere out of this ring. Arlovski pressing the action.
Ben Rothwell is on. Ben Rothwell is one tough individual because he took some huge shots. And man, he doesn't back off at all. He was there the whole time. Great job by Andre to come back in that round. I think he just stole the round back after Ben had it.
Bleeding from his ear, bleeding from his nose, and Andre Arlovski has to look across the ring now and say, what do I have to do to put this guy out?
He's tired. He's friggin' tired, dude.
Pat Militech, the legend.
He is shot.
Offering instructions.
Keep your left hand up. He can't get anything going on you if you keep your left up, all right? Hey, look at me.
Listen to me. I want that double.
Beautiful head kick right there by Andre Arlovski, and went after him lefts and rights. Ben Rothwell is doing nothing to counter, nothing to stop what's happening. Big uppercut, huge knee. That was an outstanding finish to the round for Andre Arlovski.
And this is the type of fights that Affliction is putting on. Boy, I'm looking forward to the future because, guys, the present is phenomenal.
Well, Pat Militech was saying that, you know, Andre is tired. He's right, but so is Ben.
Ben coming right out after him.
I think that Andre can't believe that he didn't finish the fight at that point. He hit him with almost everything he had, including the flying knee, and Ben still stayed in the fight.
Right here in this locked up position, you're seeing, you know, you got this clinch. Andre has the advantage now. Ben gets his inside on it. Now Ben has the advantage with his underhooks, but Andre's using the ring itself to actually position himself and try to rest in this position.
Again, elbows are allowed. Ben said he wanted to unleash elbows here. Let's see if he can get a position to land a couple on Andre.
Both guys pummeling that inside hand, try to get an inside underhook on it.
The fans are spoiled a little bit by the last round. They're booing now, a very technical portion of the fight.
You know, and when you're a big man and you're putting out as much energy as you just watched, it does take a lot out. Nice big right hand by Andre Arlovski.
You know it's a good fight when there's blood on the camera. He finally got to punch down Big Ben. He strikes, and Big Ben, the clock goes out.
Andre Arlovski fought a beautiful fight. He was a new fighter. He was not trying to hold back. He was going after his opponent, and that's why he ended up dismantling Ben Rothwell.
I tell you what, though, all the credit in the world to Ben Rothwell. He stood in there against one of the great heavyweights in the division live today, and Andre Arlovski. Big Ben, he stood in there, buddy. He fought his heart out, Frank.
Yeah, he did. Man, I can't say enough about Ben Rothwell. Obviously, I'm a huge Ben Rothwell fan. And he didn't come out on top of it tonight, but he really is a guy that truly tries every day to be 110% better than he was yesterday. And he banged in front of Andrei Arlovski, who's a top 5 heavyweight in the world, and didn't blink, didn't back up, didn't give ground, just stayed in the entire fight till he got caught.
Again, even though he's had all these fights, he's still a young fighter, Ben Rothwell is. And I think he has an awful lot, a huge, bright future ahead of him. But right now, it's time for Andrei Arlovski to shine.
Andre, look how good he is now. He put it together. His body's back in shape again. He got the bad business out of his head. He says now, like he told us before, I'm the new Andrei Arlovski, old again, and this is what we're going to do, and he showed it to us tonight.
One of the things I hate, whether it's doing football or MMA, when you sit in a production meeting and you hear some guy give his line of garbage about what went wrong, and they go out and then they still do the same old garbage. Andrei Arlovski didn't do that. He told us this was the problem, this is why I struggled. Now those problems are in the past, and you'll see the old Andre, and you know what? He showed it. Love to hear it, love to see it.
He did a great job. Andre, his hands are so much faster now, too. Obviously, when Freddie Roach worked, and he stayed in the pocket a lot better. Didn't always reach looking for the takedown. Once he hit a guy, he kept hitting him with 3 or 4 more punches to make sure he kept rocking him down.
And he was always looking to end the fight. He was always looking to end the fight, whether it was by punches, knees, or submission. Let's send it now inside the ring to Michael Buffer for our official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Josh Rosenthal steps in, stops the contest, calls it a knockout. The winner at 1:13, round number 3, from Belarus, the Pitbull, Andrei Arlovski.
Let's take a look back at some of the earlier action here, round 2. Early round 2 when he first hurt him. As you can see, every punch is landing flush. And you look at Andre, how he's turning his hips now. Before he just arm punched. Now he's really turning his hips behind every single one of these punches. And they're landing. That uppercut slides through. He goes right back to it. He recognized, hey, that uppercut worked. Let me try it again before Ben finally backed himself all the way out of it. This is the end of round 2. Right here, you can already see how bloodied up Ben Rothwell is, but he's still staying in the game. Catch him with that head kick. Hand just a little bit too low and catch him right in the temple. Andre still stepping forward. He is dropping his hands now. He is getting a little more aggressive than he should have, but he's still punching very, very well, a lot better than he has in the past.
Oh, look at that
nice
flying
knee right at the end. Here comes the end of the fight. And this is what Pat Milter's told him in the corner. He can't do anything to you if you keep your left hand up. The left hand came down a little bit. The right hand came over the top and then came underneath it. That's how you finish a fight.
And you know what? Ben Rothwell looks like a man who was just in a fight. Let's throw it now inside the ring to our third member of our broadcast team, Big John McCarthy.
All right, I'm here with Andrei Arlovski. Andre, that was an incredible performance. One of the best performances I've ever seen you put together.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You went after Ben Rothwell in the end of the second round. You went after him with everything. You were hitting him with lefts and rights. You hit him with a left high kick. You threw a flying knee in there. What were you going to do, trying to put him out in the end of that second round?
You know what, to be honest with you, I don't remember that I kick him. It's my high kick, but I try do my best. So I did what I did. Thank you all my trainers, all my sparring partners, my sponsor fans who push the time, all of them support me. Guys, it really motivates me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Ben Rothwell was coming off a 13-fight win streak, and you just dismantled him. Was he as good as everyone thought?
Ben, tough fighter. I mean, thank you, Ben, for that you gave me this fight. Thank you, Affliction. You know what? I saw that I before trained hard, but for the fight against Ben Rothwell, I trained even harder. I didn't miss even my workout. All my trainers, they push me all the time. So I did what I did. It's not because of me, it's because of my guys who in my corner. It's my fans, of course. Thank you.
If given a choice to fight your next opponent, who is it that you want?
Like Josh Barnett said, a lot badasses around, you know. I really appreciate Affliction for put me on this card around many great fighters. I don't know, everybody tough, it's up to Affliction.
Well, that was an incredible performance. Everyone, your winner, Andre the Pitbull Arlovski.
Thank you guys so much. I want to dedicate this fight for my grandma. She passed away a few months ago. It's victory for her and of course guys for you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you.
Everybody, Andre Arlovski.